Hello everyone, my name is Elle May. I am a sapphic indie author of over 20 plus books now, and I am here to talk to you about Patreon. This is going to be a part of the series where I talk about expanding author income, and one of the first ones is going to be Patreon, mostly because it was asked of me, so I wanted to talk a little bit about it. So I have run a Patreon almost since I started publishing. I would say it's about 3 years now, and I started because I saw someone making $20,000 a month on Patreon, and I was like, I want to do that. I think I could do that. Spoiler alert, I don't make $20,000 on Patreon, but I do have about 1,000 subscribers on there, and I have a very loyal fan base on there that I absolutely love. It may not be 20,000, but it is a good chunk of income that I look forward to every single month. And it's also a way to connect with my readers, and I know authors who probably clicked on this video are thinking, I don't have time to do Patreon. I literally have so many things to do on top of writing and marketing. How am I going to fit Patreon in my schedule? I'm here to tell you that I barely spend any time on my Patreon, but I can still keep those subscribers and I can still provide them content that they really like. So let's just jump into some of the tips that I have. First things first, you need to narrow down your audience. If you're doing Patreon, you need to figure out exactly who you're talking to. Are you talking to other authors? Are you talking to your readers? What are you doing? Are you building a community? Are you going to live stream your writing? Those are all things that you need to figure out that you're going to do ahead of time. What I recommend is talking mostly to your readers. There are some people who do it specifically just for authors, but I would definitely recommend doing it just for your readers. There you can provide them anything that you want. Actually, you can provide them ebooks, you can provide them arcs, you can provide them art, not safe for work art, comics, physical copies, audiobooks, anything you could really think of. But before you start, I would definitely have that group in mind, because that's how you're going to cater your tiers, that's how you're going to cater your offering, and it's also how you're going to structure your time. For example, if you wanted to talk to authors, you would need to structure your time doing videos like this, or making freebies or PDFs that will help them on their author journey, or like you would have to do live streams for writing and things like that. Now, if you do it for your readers, you would have to spend time trying to provide them free content. Free, or I wouldn't say it's technically free because they pay the Patreon subscription, but that's how you market it. It's pretty much you pay the subscription and you get all of these perks, including ebooks, art, not safe for work art, comics, physical copies, everything. But that also takes time to create. So we'll get into the creating after, but first, definitely narrow down your niche, and then you can start thinking about creating and how you can schedule that into your super busy day. Now, one piece of advice I got, not from myself, but other authors who are more senior than me on the internet, is that price your Patreon tiers higher than you think. Before, you couldn't change the price of your tiers. Now on Patreon, you could start low and then you could change your tiers. I think it's like every month or something, and then it'll only change for new subscribers. So let's say, for example, you wanted to start out a little low just to entice people to come in. You can continuously raise it as you get more popular, as you offer more things. But before, you would have to have everyone leave that tier and then change it, which was really troublesome. Also, you have to think about this. You're going to be providing a lot of stuff, or hopefully a lot of stuff in those tiers, and so you need to think actually how much it's worth. You don't want to just have people paying $3 a month and offering everything that you have, because that's a waste of your time. And you want to be able to keep this up. And in order to keep this up, we have to treat it like a business, which means that we have to make sure that we're making income to support all the stuff that we're doing for it. I think a good starting tier that's not like a tip jar tier is $7. I did price mine at $5 back in the day, and I'm slowly bringing it up because I do offer quite a bit on my Patreon. Now let's get into content. So I do this thing where I batch a lot of content. Right now, I don't have much batch because I just finished one huge batch and I need to go in and make more batches. But essentially, one of the things that I use to get people to subscribe to my Patreon is that I had ongoing shorts. Now I did a poll and people actually don't want ongoing shorts, they just want my ebook super early. So for my Patreon, that works. And then I have a separate tier that is just like shorts and stuff, and they get that once or twice a quarter. But what I do is I do not give them everything at once. So what I'll do is, let's say one of my offerings is I want to give them a short. I will write the short in one weekend, maybe 1 week. It'll be 15,000 words, 20,000 words, 30,000 words, however much I'm feeling for that short, but I will make the chapters very, very short. I will switch POVs a lot and it'll just be quite long. It'll end up being like anywhere from 15 to 30 chapters at some point. And then I will separate all the chapters in BookFunnel, and then I will schedule all the chapters out either week by week or bi-weekly. Now, if you do the math, that will actually last you for quite some time. And that is constantly new content that is being published on your Patreon that your readers are just eating up. I always let them know ahead of time, hey, this is going to be scheduled weekly or this is going to be scheduled bi-weekly. And then I always make sure, one thing that's really important is you always make sure that they know what to expect. They know what they're getting. You're not over-promising and under-delivering. You would rather over-deliver and under-promise. But that's what makes this so much easier to upkeep, is you spend maybe a week or a couple days, a month, maybe every couple months, and you batch that content like crazy. That includes things like commissions, not safe for work art. What I'll also do is sometimes I'll tease the art. So like, let's say we have WIPs, I have work in progresses, I will go ahead, post those first, and then when I get the finalized file, if I can wait, I will wait to publish it. But I'm telling you, for the authors that are busy, that just want to focus on writing, already think marketing is too much, you can batch that content. Just like you do your social media content, you literally just need 1 or 2 days to do it. You don't have to write shorts all the time. On top of that, you could also give them sneak peeks into what you're writing. So let's say you're already halfway through your book and you want to give them some sneak peeks. What you could do is you could take little screenshots, maybe of each chapter, maybe where a character that they really like comes in, and you can schedule those out as well. You don't have to give them everything at once. But this also moves into the next tip, which is share everything. Especially for your readers, they want to know everything that's happening. So if you're starting a new book, if you have a Pinterest board, if you are on YouTube and you're sharing YouTube videos, they want to see it all. So literally you could batch content on pretty much anything that you want to share with them and they will love it. I also love to do polls in here as well. The readers on my Patreon are diehard fans. They love to share what they want in the future, and actually they have some pretty good ideas. So for example, I have a tier that is just shorts, like extra shorts that I write specifically for this tier. They're the ones that vote on all of the tropes and they give me the tropes. I really don't even have to think that much on what to write because they already give it to me. And readers love it when they see their ideas come to life. But that's just one way that you can use your Patreon. I also use them for beta reads, and it's really just your community, but make sure that you do deliver on your promises. So it's always good to start with something pretty low and then just keep building onto it as you can do it. For example, I do a tier that is signed copies. I have a signed copies tier for US, Canada, and then an international one. People will stay in those tiers for a long time. And what it does is it helps me be able to send them out physical copies before even the books are released. Because all of the shipping and because the price of the books is really, really high, they're the ones that are helping me fund that. And then they get things early. And of course, I usually add goodies in there as well. So it's a win-win for everyone. So this is specifically for the authors who are overthinking it. It doesn't have to be that complicated. First, just make it. You can start with just one tier and don't try and do everything at once. Just start very simple. Start with maybe arcs. Start with maybe shorts that you've written before that you haven't published. Maybe start with looks at your whips or something like that. The important part is to just start. And now the last tip kind of goes with what I just said. Do not overextend yourself. Patreon is supposed to be a good supplemental income. It is supposed to be a good community builder. It is supposed to be a place where your readers or whoever your audience is can get closer to you and see behind the scenes sneak peeks. This is not supposed to be something extra that takes all your time and that you have to work really hard to upkeep. In my experience, using Patreon with the batching, with the sneak peeks, makes it so much easier to manage. And I was so worried at first that my readers would be really disappointed, that they would not want to stay on my Patreon, that I wasn't providing enough for them. But honestly, I'm telling you, a lot of the stuff that you already think of doing that you're putting on there, they're already very grateful for it. Every time I post a new commission, every time I post a sneak peek, everyone is so happy, and I get a bunch of comments just saying that they're so excited for the book. And honestly, right now, my favorite thing, like I said, is doing the polls and just seeing what they think, what they're looking forward to has been really amazing and really eye-opening. And it has helped me make a lot of business decisions because at the end of the day, these people are my diehard fans. And while yes, I want to keep getting new fans in, I also want to make sure I'm treating my old fans just as well, if not better, and something that you can continuously make income on. So like I said, repurpose your shorts or make sure that your fan base is loyal enough that you can keep giving them the perks that they want. Not safe for work art, commissions, physical copies, fees, all that stuff. But those are my main tips. If you have any other questions, let me know. And if you want me to go into depth on any one of my specific Patreon strategies, ask away and maybe I'll make a separate video. Thank you so much, and we'll see you in the next one.